The time has come. It is the big one. Week 0 in the books. Week 1 upon the horizon. We got games as early as Thursday. This one, the big noon kickoff on Fox. The one where Lee Corso will be doing his final headgear pick. It's going to be a very emotional day. And we have the heavyweight fight. Texas, Ohio State, in the Horseshoe, Columbus, Ohio. Let's dive right on in, shall we? So, Texas, they are actually a 1-point favorite over the Buckeyes right now. 1-point favorite. 1.5. According to ESPN Bet. The over-under is 47.5. Clear weather, it's going to be over. It says it's going to be... Looks like it's going to be clear weather, a little 60, nice, cool, 69 degrees. Nice. So... we got to break this down. The new players in this. Obviously, the game last year, you had Will Howard, Quinn Ewers, Jack Sawyer. You had heavyweight fights. This, albeit a heavyweight fight, but a lot of new names, especially in the scarlet and gray. Now, the biggest heavyweight that is returning, Jeremiah Smith, on the offensive side for Ohio State. He's back. He played a huge part in putting the Horns down. And then on the other side of the ball for the Buckeyes, you got Caleb Downs, the best defensive player in college football right now. So, you got those two heavyweights. We know what we're going to get out of them. We are going to get the absolute best out of Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. After that, it gets a little shaky. Gets a little nerve-wracking for the Buckeyes. So, for Ohio State, you have new coordinators. Brian Hartline, first-time offensive coordinator. Tremendous wide receivers coach. Probably the best in college football that we've seen possibly ever. And now he is taking that next step to being the offensive coordinator, calling the plays. And the question is going to be, is Brian Hartline and Ryan Day going to get along? Is Ryan Day going to continue to let the offensive coordinator call the plays, or is he going to take over? We saw towards the end of the regular season, Ryan Day took over the play calling. In my opinion, and what I suspect, Ryan Day took over the play calling against Michigan. And that's why we got what we got. After that, Ryan Day backed completely off, went back to being CEO, and let Chip Kelly do his thing. And it resulted in a national title. So, can Ryan Day put the ego off to the side and let Brian Hartline work? That's going to be the question, not just in this game, but the entire season that is the Ohio State Buckeyes 2025 season. Can it be done? We'll find out. Now, some new faces. We have Julian Sayin. He has been named the starter. That comes to a shock to nobody. Transferred in from Alabama after Nick Saban said, yeah, this is crazy, I'm out. He will be taking over. And then what I believe is even more important than the quarterback position in this particular case because I think Lincoln Kierholtz or Tavian St. Clair, they would all be fine as quarterbacks. But for a first year starting quarterback, regardless who it is, you need to have a running game for him to lean on. And that's going to be the $100 million question. The new expected starter, James Peoples, he was behind Judkins and Travion Henderson 1 year ago. And then you have the senior transfer, C.J. Donaldson, out of West Virginia. He's put up about 800 yards each season at West Virginia. And we'll see if between CJ and James, they can continue that. They can continue the legacy of the running back position for Ohio State. Now, on the line, we have the senior transfer from Rice, Ethan Oinawa. He's going to be protecting the blind side. And then, usual suspects, Luke Montgomery, Terga Shibola. I know I'm butchering the name. Leave me alone. So, this offensive line it's had questions the last number of years. This offensive line has to be able to control the line of scrimmage. Now, the Texas D line, it's got a couple of newbies. You got Cole Brevard from I believe he's from Purdue. It says Purdue/Penn State. So. And then you have Murad Watson from Syracuse. 2 new faces on the D-line expected to be the starters. And then you have Ethan Burke and Colin Simmons. Those are going to be... That's going to decide how well this Ohio State offense is going to work. It is those matchups right there. They are going... Whoever wins that line of scrimmage is going to win this game. Period. End of story. Because if Ohio State has to completely and totally lean on Julian Sayin, then it is not going to be a good afternoon for the Buckeyes. And then, on the other side, got a new face. Recognizable already because of the last name that he bears and the heritage that runs through that name. Arch Manning. This is now his team. This is his Lamborghini. Got a couple transfers. Emmerich Mosley from Stanford. And then Jack Endries from Cal. So, for Texas on the offensive side, you're going to need Ryan Wingo, DeAndre Moore, and Emmerich Mosley. They're going to, along with Jack Endries, they're going to have to step up, and they're going to have to find a way to move the ball on this Ohio State defense that is shown to be very rough, very tough, and very, very capable. Especially with Matt Patricia on the defensive side, calling the plays for the Buckeye defense. Yes, he's got a very bad rap as a head coach, but he is a very, very good defensive coordinator. You let him cook, it's going to come down to, with that, for the Buckeye defense, can Matt Patricia simplify it enough to where the defense reacts and is able to not have to think, just go? That is the $1 million question. Now, for Texas, I'm not super concerned as far as the play calling. The play calling's always been very good. Steve Sarkisian, tremendous play caller, but it does still bear the question: can Steve Sarkisian win the big game? At Georgia, at home, lost. Went to Atlanta in the SEC championship game, lost. First time they played somebody of equal talent in the playoff, they lost. They even struggled against Arizona State in the playoffs. So, the question: can Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns rise to the occasion and beat the Buckeyes at the Horseshoe? That is your question. Can Texas rise to the occasion? Ohio State, they've rose to the occasion multiple times last year, especially in the playoffs. They destroyed Tennessee. They annihilated Oregon. They had solid control over Texas the whole game, and the same with Notre Dame in the grandest stages of them all. Ohio State answered the call each and every single time. Can Texas answer this call in Columbus as a 1.5-point underdog? Vegas, they say that Texas is better than Ohio State. Arch Manning has a little bit more experience than Julian Sayin. Is that going to be enough? With everything Ohio State has had to turn over, is it enough? I'm going to say yes. I do think Texas will go into Columbus and beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. It is going to be close. You are going to be on the edge of your seat the entire game. And it's going to come down to, does Arch Manning have the ice in his veins? Given what his uncles did, Peyton and Eli. Yes. He does, he can, he will. Arch Manning, he is absolutely the difference maker from last year's team to this year's team. I completely and totally expect a next level of calmness and chaos that I think a Manning can provide. This team is going to be right behind Arch Manning, and he is going to lead the Longhorns in a win in a hostile environment that is the Horseshoe. I'm going to say Texas wins this game. I'm going to say, if it doesn't rain, 35-31. If the rain does fall, then it will be closer to 24-20. I do think the running game is going to be better for the Longhorns. They do have two very capable running backs in Windsor and Baxter. So we will see how it all shakes down. So it's at noon. It's on Fox. Texas, Ohio State, Longhorns beat the Buckeyes in a thriller. Now, let's talk for a minute. Let's talk for a minute here. What if, and this game for Ohio State, win, great. Lose, oh well. We're learning. We're developing. A lot of turnover. Whatever. It's going to happen. For Texas, this could be a morale destroyer. Because when you look upon the horizon for the Longhorns, they got a few weeks to recover with San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. Simple, easy, peasy, lemon, squeezy. And then you got to go to Florida in the swamp. And then you have the Red River rivalry with a revamped, retooled, newly dangerous Oklahoma Sooners with an axe to grind. And then at Kentucky. Kentucky, they're always due for a solid upset. And then you got Mississippi State, whatever. And then Vanderbilt. They are ever lurking with their macho man quarterback. But on top of that, you have at Georgia on the horizon. At Georgia, between the hedges, in a raucous stadium. That is a hell of an ask. And then you have Arkansas, and then you have Texas A&M. So, this is on the must-win meter for Texas. I would say, out of a scale of 10, I would say about a 7.5. You have to win this game. You have to keep morale high because the schedule is not going to get easier from here. Outside of the next 3 games. So, but have no fear, Longhorns fans. I'm taking the Longhorns. Let me know down in the comments, who do you have in this game? Give me Texas over the Buckeyes. Give me the over in the sunshine, under in the rain. And if it is raining, then Texas may very well rough up the Buckeyes hard. Because again, the questions in the run game. So, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you guys in the next one.